On the 24th of April, this went to air with the title, Tesla will likely fade over the next 2 weeks, will rebound closer to 2025, according to Gene Munster. Well, we're now about 3 weeks later. Where was Tesla on the 24th of April? The answer, $162 per share. Since then, up. Now, I'm not here to roast Gene Munster specifically, just to point out that trying to predict what a stock is going to do over the short term is always fraught with danger and just asking for trouble. Apparently, Gene did have some thoughts about robotaxis, so let's hear those now.
Gene, it's Karen. Thanks for being on today. What do you think the math is around robotaxis? How do you think about it? What is the model there?
So it's pretty powerful. If, again, you have to believe, it's like a religion. If you believe that this is going to get out, I happen to be in the camp that I think that they will eventually get this out. I think, by the way, Lyft and Uber, they're in big trouble if, in fact, Tesla does get this because...
Yo, Gene Munster spitting some fucking facts right now. I think this is the closest I've heard anyone covering Tesla come to saying that Lyft, Uber and other ride-hail services are fucked if Tesla solves autonomy. By the way, he's right. Keyword here, if. But if Tesla is successful, they are fucked. And how do you compete with a company that doesn't have to pay a driver offering an equivalent service? The answer is you can't. You're fucked. Of course, as Gene mentions, you do need to believe that Tesla will solve this. But keyword again, if they do, then Uber and Lyft really are fucked. Good for Tesla. Good for consumers, customers. Not so good for Uber, Lyft, and so on. Looking forward to hearing Gene's numbers around autonomy.
Anyway, I think that that's a whole different topic. But as far as the impact, we have, they're going to do, call it 2 million vehicles, more or less. If you get to just for easy math, 1 million robotaxis, a lot of those are going to be Tesla owned. They're actually going to own their own taxis. Some of them will go to third parties. But if you get to that million and assume about 3 rides per day, you effectively can double the operating income. Now, I was just talking about the importance of revenue, but I think that is the math. So that's about $10 billion per year. They did last year about $9.5 billion in operating income. That's with 1 million robotaxis. So that's a lot of them, but that's where you start to get it. The beautiful thing about it is there's a waterfall factor. As you continue to add those cars, the impact to the robotaxi fleet continues to compound.
Dude's right. By the way, some very, very conservative numbers. Gene's estimates, 1 million robotaxis. Remember, Tesla's already got roughly 6 million vehicles on roads. Add another 2 million over the next 12 months. Just 1 million of those doing just 3 rides per day. And Tesla doubles their operating income. The numbers get batshit insane around autonomy. Did someone say batshit insane and robotaxis? Don't mind if I do. Over to Tasha Keeney of ARK Invest.
Now, Tesla needs to focus, and they need to get dates for bringing that new $25,000 car to market. If they do that, there's a lot of silver lining out there for them.
Tasha, your price target on Tesla is more than 10x up from here. So what is it that convinces investors in this situation that Tesla is worth that?
Yeah, well, let's talk about earth-shattering. I can't think of anything more earth-shattering than a car that drives itself. And I think that's exactly what people should be focused on. So, yes, our previously published price target was $2,000 per share by 2027. We're updating that now, so look out for that research. But we think that 2/3 of the enterprise value in that year could be attributable to a robotaxi network. To ignore this is crazy. And
I think she meant to say brain dead. That's all right, we'll forgive her. Trolling aside, holy fuck. I mean, I say the same shit every day for a reason. It's baffling how dismissive most supposed investors are of the potential around autonomy. They either don't believe it's going to happen, or they do believe it's going to happen, but they simply can't compute the financial results, the outcomes, the revenue, the profits, and therefore they just dismiss any potential impact and go, oh, cool, whatever, cool story, bro, and ignore. This is a $10 opportunity. $10+ trillion over the long term, up for grabs. Tesla today still with a market cap under $500 billion. Many supposed investors either selling Tesla stock, trimming their positions, just holding, panicking about short-term margins, crying because Elon Musk has opinions. Oh, fuck. You do not have any idea, guys, how much I look forward to getting an AI to scrape every transcript of every video I published on YouTube. I think, there's about 1,500 of them now. Everything I had to say about the impact of autonomy, before and after it actually happens. The reason I share my Tesla valuation model over the next 10 years on Patreon, for supporters at the investor level and above, by the way, click the link in the pinned comment if you'd like access, is to show people the assumptions I have in a variety of different scenarios, bear case, base case, bull case. What happens if and when Tesla launches Robotaxis? How many Robotaxis in the fleet per year? How many miles per Robotaxi? What are they charging? What's the profit on that? What's the financial impact? The reason I share this is to help people gain a perspective and to understand why I'm still buying Tesla stock with every spare cent and have been since early 2016, more than 8 years now and counting. And with recent developments, with V12, the announcement of the Robotaxi event on 8.8, the stunning improvements with each incremental update of FSD, I have to again stress, it is mind-boggling that people just seem to be ignoring this. Like, what are you guys doing? The thing that I wonder about most is, when do people figure this out? Is it not until the first commercial fare in a Tesla Robotaxi takes place? Or is it not until the first quarterly results showing revenues and profits from Tesla Robotaxis roll in? When do people realize what's happening and the impact? By the way, just between you and I the longer it takes for people to realize, the better. Because, like I said, I'm still buying, and I'd rather my money to go as far as possible. So Tesla around $500 billion today. Yes, fucking thank you. May this discount continue.
In my mind, I think that this Tesla will be one of the greatest AI companies of our generation because of this. What's important now is we're hearing, that they're investing in compute. They're mentioning in the letter that, compute resources up 130% for the quarter. They'll continue to invest in compute. We want them to do that because the way that they have tuned the full self-driving neural net architecture is such that, they have this amazing data set, millions of cars on the road, over 2 million miles of driving data per day to train from. And, for a while they were compute constrained, and that's not the case anymore. So basically, new problems arise and they just need the compute to solve it. And now they're have that, or at least have line of sight to having that. I think that's huge. So I'm super excited for the Robotaxi event later this year.
Okay. Steve, I mean, to even get, let's put the regulatory approvals that are going to be necessary aside for a moment. To even get to true autonomous driving and the realization of this on a mass scale in a way that's potentially financially meaningful for a Tesla, how much hinges on the fact that you need a lower priced car, you need scale, more vehicles on the road to fully deploy full self-driving and to fully realize software and services?
No, you and what Phil just said is exactly right. Robotaxis will be the biggest deal in the world, but that's 5, 10, 12 years out. That's
5, 10, 12 years out. I certainly agree with Steve's earlier comment about Robotaxis being the biggest fucking thing ever. Not quite sure about the timing. Now, until recently, there was a lot of uncertainty. When is the problem solved? Tesla just continually kicking the can down the road. There was still a lot of unknowns. That no longer appears to be the case. The complete rewrite, the rebuild of FSD, trained end-to-end on video, no more heuristics, deleting hundreds of thousands of lines of explicit code, what this is, what to do in this situation, and so on. Just trained on good human drivers. Now we're seeing the capabilities of this software. And Tesla themselves have confirmed they're no longer compute constrained. Musk recently posts, and in fairness to Steve, this clip that I'm referring to aired well before Musk's recent comments, but the next version of FSD 12.4 will have 5 to 10 times fewer interventions per mile than 12.3, which is stunning. It seems pretty clear now we are seeing the hockey stick moment in terms of capabilities for Tesla's FSD. To remind everybody, the global fleet, all Uber drivers today, globally, amount to roughly 5 million. Tesla already has a fleet of vehicles today equivalent to or greater than the number of Ubers on Earth. Now, obviously, not every single Tesla in the future is necessarily going to operate as a robotaxi, but the point, in terms of scale, because this is a piece of software, Tesla already has enough vehicles on roads to literally match the global fleet of Uber drivers. By the way, many of them are part-time. I'm not just talking full-time Uber drivers. Because this is software with an over-the-air update, Tesla can enable this anywhere. And because of the rate of improvement we're seeing, I struggle to understand why we're looking at a 5, 10, 12-year timeline before a meaningful impact from autonomy. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm just saying what I think right now. And what I think right now, once again, per my Tesla valuation model, join Patreon, link in description, investor level and above, and have a look for yourself. I think the first robotaxis from Tesla start operating, call it the next 12, 24 months, give or take, and very quickly begin to have a meaningful impact. Now, it is true that 5 years from now, the impact from robotaxis will be far more significant than it would be 24 months from now. And 10 years, even more significant than that. But where I strongly disagree with Steve here is around the significance of the impact of autonomy over the relative near term. The reason, again, Tesla already has a fleet. The fleet's growing at a crazy rate, a few million a year. And autonomy is a piece of software that can operate on their entire existing fleet and all new vehicles. And the reason I previously mentioned the size of the Uber fleet, which by the way, they're not Uber-owned vehicles, I just mean the number of drivers working for Uber, is to demonstrate the current scale of Tesla's fleet. A couple of years from now, that fleet will have doubled again. So there's a pretty clear path for massive, widespread deployment of Tesla Robotaxis. They're already on the roads. It's just they're not operating as Robotaxis yet. It's a software update though. And again, I asked the question, when are investors going to go, well, hang on, what if it does happen? And what if Tesla does have an unassailable lead? And what if it is a piece of software and they can just turn it on overnight with the press of a button? And what do the implications look like?
It's just aspirational talk. Tesla's got to figure out what they're doing for the next 3 years. And the short answer to that is the $25,000 car. Drive a Tesla, full self-driving. It's extraordinary. And Tesla and Waymo are the leaders. Let's give them credit. But they're at maybe 98, 99%. Before you have full self-driving robotaxis, you have to be at 99.9999. That is years out. Tesla's got to fill that gap. There is some silver lining here. Look, they still control 51% of the EV market in the United States, more than all other companies combined. That's great. They're dominant in Europe. They have work to do in China. That's why they're bringing prices down. They control the charging network, largely in North America and Europe. All other automakers are gravitating. They're going to use Tesla's network, and I don't think Tesla will be bashful about raising prices there. And their energy division is growing at record rates, $6 billion last year, should be at $10 billion by the next couple of years. And there are a lot of talk about their new out-of-box manufacturing process that could cut costs another third. So lower battery costs, better manufacturing, some silver lining, but they're going to have to scramble to get through this next 3 years because full autonomous driving and robotaxis ain't going to be here anytime soon.
Well, as Gene Munster mentioned earlier on, you do need to believe. Until it happens, no one knows. Clearly, Steve has a belief that wide-scale autonomy is a long way away. I am not so sure about that. Meanwhile, the world's most famous adult film star can't stop posting about her Cybertruck, and now a kid's Cybertruck as well. I'm becoming increasingly suspicious. Why is it that Kim Kardashian is relentlessly posting, constantly posting photos of her Cybertruck everywhere on social media? Seems a bit strange, given the many millions of dollars brands will pay her for a single post on social media. It's quite remarkable. Then again, the Cybertruck is a rolling billboard, the coolest vehicle that's ever happened. The world's first S-tier celebrity, the kind of S-tier celebrity that A-list celebrities must be seen in, on, around, owning and flaunt on their social media. By the way, as I predicted years ago, the coolest vehicle, possibly the coolest product, if not ever, then definitely in the last few decades. Everyone, celebrities, rappers, athletes, obsessed with this vehicle. Case in point, NFL player Isaiah Simmons, flexing his newly wrapped Cybertruck. And bro, I gotta say, the thing looks incredible, ridiculous, and so different. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? Love it, hate it, somewhere in between? Regardless, how absolutely ridiculous is this vehicle? The ultimate blank canvas. I mean, is it just me or similar vibes? Seriously though, is it just me? Unbelievable what a difference a wrap, a little bit of customization can do to this vehicle. Absolutely outrageous. According to registration data in the US, the most recently available monthly data shows that more than 2 times as many Cybertrucks are registered to new owners as Rivian R1Ts. I ain't surprised. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, it has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. Plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.